Caribou Weather Dude YouTube channel here in Wells, BC. Been raining hard this morning. I woke up at 6 a.m. and it was pounding. I seen that system off in the distance on radar at 1 o'clock in the morning. I looked at it. I was like, I'm going to sleep. That's a long ways away. It'll get here by morning. I got here and it's been thundering and thundering and thundering and raining really hard all morning. Okay, I was at Crash to Pass last night with the kids. Some of that content's coming up on the video on the channel today. So make sure you subscribe to. It's free to subscribe, folks. Just do it. I'm trying to get to 10,000 this year. It's been going slow. Okay, so got tornado chance in Alberta today. We'll be talking about the nadir risk through the prairies this weekend. BC, bad weather, lots of rain, more rain, but it's going to warm up next week. So, just hold on and, maybe have a raincoat for your fancy weekend plans that you probably have. Those of you who have weekends, who have normal jobs and normal lives and things like that. Okay, let's go. There it is. Oh, what the video is? Water. They try mopping this. I know I already said it once, but hit like, share, subscribe. Okay, I really mean it. Okay, let's get on with the show. Well, here we are this morning underneath this big epic bomb going off here. You can see the low pressure system there. You can see put an L in the middle, I guess, basically there, kind of. It's making its way over to the Alberta side, and when it does, all hell is going to break loose. We have a stronger severe potential in BC later today. Don't be fooled. Once this passes on by and moves on its way out, for us, we're going to have in the background this dry sector, thunderstorms popping up, and some of them will be pretty strong. In fact, there's thunderstorms forecast across everywhere in the province. It's great. This southeast sector, it's going to be the last to take this tail move on through, obviously. This tail is going to be moving this way, and when it does, watch this. We'll go to Futurecast and just sort of look at where it's going Futurecast-wise. When it makes its way down there in 2, 3, 4 hours time into this corner, that's going to be just enough daytime heating there to get that fired up into some real severe storms. So that's an area of interest to me today. But there's a lot of areas of interest. This foothills area, of course, when this energy spills on over from this severe threat, we're talking Lethbridge, Nanton, Alberta, Claresholm, and all my favorite places down Highway 2 are at risk of tornado threat. That will move off into the prairies through the weekend. So we'll start here because it's the scariest one. In Area C today is where our tornado threat is. 4 to 6 centimeter hail is possible, my friends. Oh my God, that'll smash your windows right out. But don't fret. Area A, including Calgary's got 2 to 5 centimeter hail possible, including bursts of rain that could hit up to 50 mils. I think Brandon Houck was saying that Edmonton is an area that could take a lot of rain today. In the B region, that goes over to BC there, 1 to 2 centimeter hail. So still in the severe threshold. I think whenever you're getting 2 centimeter hail, you're probably getting a severe thunderstorm. That's just the way she goes. A little bit of a threat there in Manitoba and reaching over to Saskatchewan today. 1 centimeter hail possible. So some smaller hail, maybe some peas there and whatnot. So that's the big threat today on the Alberta side. And we'll go check out BC side now because this is a change from last night when I shared a map. Now it's highlighted as Area C. That's the Caribou. So 60 to 80 kilometer-hour gusts of wind, 1 centimeter hail, 15 to 20 mils. So we could see some severe-ish storms pop up into here. Area B as well, up to Fort Nelson. Again, it's like the daily thing, man. They've been getting thunderstorms every day. I mean, if you've not been paying attention to weather for your entire life, you might think, oh, well, yeah, thunderstorms in Fort Nelson, no big deal. Whereas I'm different. I've been paying attention to weather for a long time. And I know that thunderstorms in Fort Nelson every day is not the way it used to be once upon a time. But it's now I'm starting to think the last couple of years, maybe I need to move to Fort Nelson if I want to be a storm chaser that gets the most action in this province. It seems like that area has been getting lit. Okay, D area, Cranbrook, 70 to 90 kilometer-hour gusts of wind, 1 to 2 centimeter hail, and some heavy rain in those downbursts. Area A, which is pretty much everywhere in the province, could see some rainfall, could see some thunderstorm activity, most likely in the non-severe category. Although we have no severe watches in BC yet, we already have one issued in Alberta where we know that there'll likely be a tornado watch as well. Thunderstorms are going to be developing in the area, which could be bringing large hail, strong winds, heavy rain, can produce tornadoes. For the rest of the prairies, it's just air quality warnings. Of course, it got a little bit warmer there for a bit, and fires kicked off. And this cool down, this rain moving on through is a good thing for that situation. I'm not sure off the top of my head how much rain is going to fall on our target areas for fires, but we can have a look at that quickly this morning. New heat records in Newfoundland. I know that's way outside the mark of what we're talking about here, 34 degrees. I don't generally want to talk about Newfoundland weather, but the maximum at Badger, 34.9, that's an all-time extreme maximum record, surpassing 34.7, set on August 10th, 2001. New monthly record for July, exceeding the old record of 34.5, set in 2007. The maximum of Terra Nova set a new monthly record. Well, why am I telling you this? I'm telling you this because well, my wood stove is going right now next to me. That's why I'm telling you this, okay? Heavy rain in Ontario the last couple of days, Naughton taking 107 mils. Temperature record broken in Ottawa at 34.2, a daily temperature record set in Prince Edward Island. Quebec seeing heavy rainfall as well, up to 93 at Charny, Lévis. Okay, here we are, NATOcast today, looking at the NATO chance. NATOcast chance. Look at this. Spills into that southeast corner of BC. Now, am I saying there's going to be a tornado in that corner of BC? No, 1% chance or less. Okay, like we're talking low risk. Nonetheless, we make the cut today. But we know our real concern is obviously in that Alberta side, nearing Calgary, just south of Calgary. Wind, what are wind threats today? Strong wind threats on the East Coast, strong wind threats in Iowa and areas like that. We know that it doesn't take much in Canada sometimes to make storms particularly angry. Hail risk there in southern Alberta as well today, the big hail risk. So NATOcast hail day risk. Looks like some of these areas again through the Dakotas and whatnot. I mean, Iowa. That's going to be some big friggin' hail. There's going to be some major storms going on for you. But we're not here to talk about them. Just have our look at our precipitation the next couple of days here. So here's today. You can see how that's moving on down into southeastern BC, coming on over the border to Alberta there, making some strong storms. Now we're going to jump into Saturday. That is going to take off across the prairie. New storms going to develop in BC on Saturday. Probably non-severe-ish, I think, on Saturday is my guess. More rain with some lightning in it, kind of like we're getting right now here in Wells. And then watch that storm system move on down to the American side, but there's still going to be a very strong risk for strong thunderstorms popping up in that Saskatchewan side. I know that's where Justin Ordle from Weather Center in Manitoba is starting to eye a possible chase day later in the weekend. And again, coming into Sunday, lots of rain in BC, man. Just doesn't want to stop. But here comes the heat. Please. Well, no, more rain. Come on, where's the heat? More rain. That's looking better. I told you it's coming. It's going to warm up next week, folks. It's going to warm up. You got to believe me. I got to believe it for the sake of my own madness. We look at helicity that measures spin in the updrafts, right? So where's the rotation going to be most likely to be found? Okay, American side, yeah. But we have some helicity values in the Caribou today. Have some helicity values in Alberta, especially. And then up in the Peace as well, some stronger storms possible up there. Now that's the areas we're looking at. In through the weekend, we see that value moving across the prairies. Boom, there you go. That's strong severe threat in southern Saskatchewan later on as we get into the weekend. So be aware, changing conditions. And then finally, it makes its way into Manitoba by Monday. Temperatures mostly cooler in BC today, unless you're near that border area. Kamloops probably getting up to 26 or something like that. This is looking at 5 in the afternoon, so this would be more or less after the fact. Warmer as you go further north. Fort Smith, 28, high level 28. This is nuts, people. How many times are you going to tell me that I'm just a climate alarmist who's making shit up? I mean, this is nuts. Every week now, we're seeing it warmer in the north, sometimes up to the Arctic. There are Fairbanks at 26, Dawson City at 25 today. Warmer than almost everywhere in British Columbia. You think I'm tired of this? Yeah, my fire season's just poached, man. I don't know if I'm getting any work this year whatsoever. I honestly don't. Okay, let's backtrack a little bit. And I hate to break it to all you firefighters, all the bad news. This is what's going on right now. This bunch of horse shit is sitting with me right now, raining on me hard. It won't stop, folks. It won't stop. We're going to watch it slide on down. It's going to join over to the Alberta side. When it does, it's going to become lethal. Here's that next line of storms, though, popping up in the Caribou later in the afternoon. These are ones you got to watch out for, man. You can see these are some of these cells are individuals, clusters, whatnot. Then as you get later in the night, we get more of a mesoscale kind of drop off around the 100-mile house where may still have some lightning and things in there, but turn out more to a rain bomb. And then the same will eventually happen down in southeastern BC, but not before they take some strong thunderstorms on their way through. We'll watch it pop on down. These guys look pretty good right here. That's going to be a strong line heading towards Invermere. Sometime later in the afternoon by supper. Then you can see when these spill on over into Alberta into the evening, that's when we're looking at that tornado threshold being reached, I think, most likely. Well, so there's a big second round developing in the Caribou through the afternoon. There you can see it go. Boom. Cuts right across. Prince George taking a lot of rain later in the night. Man, it just goes so fast. Let's do it again. Before I could even talk, it was like gone. Okay, bam. So there, lines up, low pressure's forming up, so you can see this whole line basically moving on down from more or less Mackenzie, strong thunderstorms up towards Yellowknife on that side of the border, right? Line preceding in Alberta, starting in the north side there. But I think what the severest stuff is going to come on this flank here when this crap comes over the border. So we're going to pop this, watch her go. Bam, you can see we've got two more or less mesoscale clusters filling up Prince George area north of and South Caribou into the evening. Strong thunderstorms by 4 o'clock. I should say 4 o'clock, 1600 hours, 4 o'clock. Those strong thunderstorms will go moving on through into the Alberta side. And we'll have to see what comes of that. Wham! Nighttime show. That's something dangerous, folks, right there. And we just look at that convective available potential energy values. You can see the areas that are most prone to activity today. And that Prince George area looks like it's got some good risk. The Williams Lake area looks like good risk. Up that Fraser River looks like some risk. Fort Nelson looks like some strong risk. Looks like some strong risk down in the southeast corner of BC. So, my friends, we're going to have to keep talking about this one through the weekend. Looking at BC's story. You can see the rain that we're sitting in right now is going to move on through. It's going to make that next line of storms in Alberta. And then we get a secondary line after that coming through in the afternoon, which could produce some strong storms. No severe watch listed yet that I'm aware of, but it won't surprise me at all if the central interior gets a severe watch. If we see a severe watch in southeastern BC, if we see a severe watch in Fort Nelson in the next hour or two, I'm jumping the gun making my video before they do. Sure, but that's how she goes. You can watch that rocket off to Saskatchewan here this weekend. Boom. Southern BC being a lot more of the thunderstorm story on Saturday. More rain and whatnot in the Caribou. Northern BC into the Yukon. Looking at quite a bit of lightning still. Northwest Territories, lightning all the time nowadays. It never really stops. And bam, there's your strong storms moving through Saskatchewan on Saturday. That could produce some tornado producers. And then on Sunday, we'll be watching for another line. Look at the way that this low is coordinating itself. That in itself is interesting. So we'll be watching on Sunday for some severe potential. Yeah, it's not the quality of the rain. It's not really intensified or weakened all morning. It's just down. It just keeps coming down, just keeps coming down and down and down. It's really incredible. Okay, lots of Crash to Pass videos coming up on the channel today. Make sure you watch the first one. I'm going to, after this, get on to making the finale part 2 of the Crash to Pass, man. Excellent stuff. Everyone in Quesnel had so much fun. I love that stuff. Sorry that the podcast didn't happen last night. My plan was to launch it from there, have Brandon and Mark run it, and when I got there, I realized there's no cell service down in the valley, and then so they did it on Facebook, but that means I don't know what I'm going to send to my radio stations this week. I'll think of that, I guess, in an hour or two. One thing at a time, Joseph. Okay, bye now.